Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Monday evening connection. Um, and there's many different ways to make a connection. Thank you for hosting us, Danny, and the beautiful people are here and also joining us or listen to it later. Also, I want to make sure that everybody pay attention. Just did a nice podcast with a friend of mine. It went very, very well. Many people, different feedback, so highly recommended to watch it. If people ask you about Kabbalah, different reasons and different things that you can have tools of how to answers and different ways of explaining what we're doing. So if you have a chance, look into it. I think we're gonna put it in the chat that we have so everybody can watch it. So this week is technically the big picture of this week is the week that allow us to control all negative forces. The big picture of this week is that there are negative forces out there. People call it demons, Satans, and all of those words. It's simply negative influence. It's a system that we spoke about that some people who are connected to a very low frequency can really use that to control people, to paralyze people with negativity. That is that energy. And that energy have a main source. A main source. How do we know somebody get somehow in touch with those forces? If you hear the word, I'm confused. I'm confused. Every time you hear that word confused, you know who is now interact with that individual. What is confusion? Darkness. You can only get confused in the dark, right? But if I see my friend in a daylight, I don't get confused. It's my friend. I see him face to face, but in the dark, I'm not sure who is that person, right? You see an image of sort. So remind us that these forces we're talking about are available for people who want to live or exist or just exist in this world of low level of frequency. Or there are people who want to live in a high level of frequency, which is what we call light or darkness. What do we call the underworld is dark, right? It's lower frequency. That's the consciousness. So this week we have the opportunity to control these forces. Forces that what happened if you, let's say, spend a little bit more time confused. Right after that, you have doubts. Then you paralyzed, right? You're not moving, you froze, you stuck. I feel stuck, I feel stuck. Why? Confusion, hesitation, doubts. I'm stuck. This is how it's a one lead to another. But it works also the other way around towards the light. Right? And this is what I wanna share with you today. So the story go that is almost like unrelated story to the entire Torah, right? Because all of a sudden in the story, from what we spoke about Korach last week and the spies the week before and Chukat, all the laws. All of a sudden this week, let me just maybe give you the overview story. I like to call it the 1% story, the physical story of the appearance of the story. He says, Vayar Balak ben Zippor. Then there's a guy named Balak. He was there back then, the king of Moab, the nation called Moab. He sees what the nation of Israel, did for all the nations, how people that are not armed with amazing weaponry or have like a sophisticated machines or have money. There are a bunch of people in the desert with sandals and some gowns, right? Defeated nations that nobody know how to explain it. So Balak, the king of Moab, he's seeing that, he freaks out. He says, listen, he called up to all the people around nations and he tells them, listen, these people, this Israel, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know how they're defeating all of these people without, no Iron Dome, no ballistic, nothing, with almost like bare hands. They even said later on, from that occasion and others, you should know, that one person of the Israelite defeated thousands mighty fighters of the other nations. So one person over 1,000, like wipe them like that. So Balak ben Zippor, Balak, this guy, this leader, is known to be the master of evil eye, master of controlling negativity. He had a bird. He used to know how to use that again, many dark forces, dark negative forces. But it's a lower level of existence. So he sees that, and he call up all those ministers, and he call up all those people. Vayar Balak ben Zippor. He sees what they do for all the nations. And he says, Ve'inech chisai en haaretz. And he says, these people, they're going to cover the entire Israel land. They're going to take over. So we need to do something. Call up for an action. Sounds interesting, in our time right now. But so again, it's not like what we're dealing today, or what the world dealing with today. It's very old, very ancient. So anyway, there's the 1% story. So he says to them, hey, something is wrong here. They're gonna take over. They all over, and how they can really defeat all of us like that. We gotta do something. He called up his buddy Bilam. Bilam known to be the sorcerer of all evil, and he controlled the mouth, the eyes, the evil tongue, evil eye. He knew how to, to create a negativity. Sometimes people that are master with words, like usually Gemini is like really great with words. Air signs are good with that, right? They can sell you anything anytime. So that Bilam and that Balak call up Bilam, and that Bilam known to be that they actually equalize him to Moses. They're like almost around that time when they spoke about Moses, there was only one competitor that could be compared to Moses is Bilam. But there's two things. Now I want to make sure before I'm going into the more details of the story, in each and every one of us, there is two prophets, one called Moses, one called Bilam. One is connected to a higher frequency, one connected to a lower frequency. And it's really, this is tremendous prophecy to this world. Now we know Bilam was the prophet of the negative side. So what do we see? Balak called up Bilam. And he says, hey, I need your help. I know by myself I cannot defeat those Israelites. I cannot defeat this power. I need you with me. So come up. And he's sending gifts and some of his messengers to call up. And Bilam says, no, I'm not coming because I'm only doing what the Creator wants me to do. That's what he answered. And it's interesting coming from a guy that was completely negative and connected to the negative side. He says, no, I'm not going unless the Creator tells me. What Bilam did, okay, send him more important people and tell him, I'm going to give him so much honor and I'm going to give him so much money and I'm going to give him everything, right? And he's trying to seduce him to come and help him with, with money, with honor and sending. So imagine, for example, let's say you're doing a party, right? And your friend says, I don't want to come, right? And you send him like someone, like a friend of yours that is a billionaire, that they are all like, or like, I don't know, famous DJ. Yeah, famous DJ. Hey, I'm gonna play in this party. Can you come? Oh, you're gonna be there? Okay, I have to come. Yeah. Like all of a sudden, like people will go. How many times you've been told to go to a party and they ask, and you said, who's gonna be there? What's gonna be there, right? And this is what Bilam. So Bilam pretending, no, I'm only go when God is calling me. God is calling you. Oh, let me show you your God. All the important people, all the honorable people, all the respected people came to Bilam. You gotta help us. It's a state of emergency. You know, all the nation needs you. You don't understand. He says, I usually go only with the creator call me, but now because of you calling me, and because I see that, you know, I'm still not gonna go. Why? I need a message from the creator. And he continued that. Anyway, at night, he had waking up at night or whatever, and he get a message that he needs to go. But we know, again, on the side, that lesson is very, very good for us. Sometimes we saying we coming from a good place, but then we've been lured by the need to look good in the eyes of somebody honorable or somebody that we respect or someone that we want attention from. So it's important to understand that sometimes we're changing our ways based on who is going to be there, what I'm going to get, maybe what I'm going to get, maybe. No, I'm only going for that. But if there is by chance I'm going to get some respect, no problem. That's not my intention. My intention is to go to help my friend. You know, we've been there many times in these places. It's almost ridiculous how we've been lured to do something, even though in the beginning we're so adamant of like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm this, I'm that. All of a sudden, we know that there's a lesson for us to understand that it says that לאן שאדם רוצה ללכת, מוליכים אותו. It says, wherever the person really wants to go, they will show him, yeah, you should go there. Yeah, you should go there. And then a friend of yours comes, and there's, oh, what a coincidence. And then we end up going there. And that's what Balaam had. Even more than that, when he goes there, and in the morning, of course, the Creator tell him you should go. You know, but if you go, just make sure that you speak the word that I give you to speak. So now the Creator telling him, okay, I see that you really want to go. You understand? He didn't say it this way, but like, you know, imagine like somebody tells you, oh, you can't go to this or you can't go to that, but I really see that you want to go. Okay, come to this party or come to this event, right? Anyway, so the Creator tell him, go, but make sure everything you say, it's my words. He says, okay, God, whatever you're saying. Any long story short, he goes on his donkey, right? And the donkey, you know, stop in the middle of the road. It says, the donkey telling him, I don't think you should go. The donkey spoke to him. He says, but why? God told me to go. Even the donkey tried to stop him. No, but God already approved me to go. He says, but listen, I know what God told you. The donkey. The donkey squeezed him to the right next to the wall. Don't go. And he beating her 3 times. He beating the donkey. Keep going. I'm going in the name of God. And the donkey says, no, you don't see there's an angel over there trying to stop you to go. You know, and he says, no, I see this. Go. You know, and says, anyway, it's almost ridiculous how many times they stopping him and he keep changing the message. So it's amazing. So the story goes. Either way, I'm already told you the story. I'm going to continue with the 1% story, and then I'm going to share with you a couple of lessons. But so the story goes. He goes to Balak. They meet up together, and we know the combination of their name together create a certain scenario, because you take Balak, Bet Lamed Kuf, you take Bilam, Bet Lamed Ain Mem, you join those names of these two together. First of all, their name together is 7 letters, right? Balak is 3, Bilam is 4. 7 represent the bridge between the upper world to this lower world. but they represent the negative side. Together, if you join them together, they are deadly weapon. That's they knew. Balak knew. He saw that if I bring Bilam with me, together we are seven, which we control all the seven sfirot, but of the negative side of Ma'arechet Atumah, the impure system. And therefore, he needed Bilam to come to join him. But if you take the word Balak and Bilam, you take the two letters from this word, you get Balak, which is Bet Lamed, and Bilam of Bet Lamed. The word Bilbul together is confusion. Confusion. Both of them together have this, they controlling, not just any of them, they can control all the world and confuse everybody. Because once you confuse everybody, then it's like what happened when when you're doing when you attack in a secret, like a secret attack, right? You catch the enemy off guard. They're all confused, don't know what to run, and then you can capture them. So that's the idea spiritually. And then you have the word the kuf of Balak and am of the rest of the other letters. You take the word Amalek. Amalek, which is a nation and the code for the word Safek, which is doubt. So now we know these two people, it's not people, but entity or forces. They can control confusion. And then the next step for that is doubt. And then once you insert it in people's consciousness, you can paralyze them. Spiritually paralyzed. They might go to work, they might do, but all confused and doubting. And then you shut them down the system. And these are what he wanted to do. This is the intention of these two people. And this is what this week is the antidote against confusions and doubts and lower level of frequency and energy. Now I want to tell you way more than that. So they got connected. After the donkey story, eventually go to Balak. And the Israelite is like right there in a valley. And the interesting fact on this weekly story, that story, nothing mentioned about the Israelite or what's going on in the nation. It's a story that tells you that Israelite is over there, the Israel people are in the valley. And all what they're trying to do is to find a way to go on top and curse all of them. So all the scheme that's going on, the Israelites have zero understanding that that's actually what's happening. They are unaware of it. So just imagine there are two forces in this world in our day, all day long. Like you walking in the city, they jumping between the roof and trying to find a way to control you, to throw daggers on you. These are the forces, almost like that. Like, those two spies are walking around you like, oh, is it right? These two forces constantly looking for opening in your consciousness to insert confusions and doubts and to complete paralyze your spirit, your engagement, your excitement. Because sometimes you wake up, you're so inspired, you're so excited, you go in the street, boom, I drive, somebody said something, I'm not inspired anymore. In 2 seconds, this is Balak and Bilam. This is what we want as a controlled, as a protection in this week. So again, so the story goes that they trying to this. Even listen to this. Bilam comes to Balak and says, you know what? I want to try to curse them from this place. But instead of it, listen, we have to build a tabernacle or mizbeach, which is we have to build an altar. So the Creator will sacrifice over here, and then the Creator will listen to us. So we need to create altar. All in all, he created an altar over here. They tried to curse, a blessing comes out. So Balak came to Bilam and said, what are you doing? I brought you to curse them. Why you give them blessings? He says, I don't know. I made an altar. I made a sacrifice. I'm cursing them. And all what comes is blessing. So Bilam telling him, listen, we need to go to the other side of the valley. Let's make an altar over there. And all in all, they go anywhere in the place to curse. They build an altar. And again, the idea of the altar is why he built 7 different altars. Why? Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob build all together 7 altars. Abraham built 4, Isaac built 1, and Jacob built 2 more. And all in all, he thought, Bilam thought, so if Abraham is right, they built altars, 7 altars, that's how they got the power to control the Israelite or to be the Israelite. I need to do it. So he built 7 of them, and nothing happened, just blessing came out. A curse wanted to come out, and a blessing came out. And not just a blessing, by the way, I'm going to share with you one of the blessings is that these blessings that remain forever, ever, those blessings that we keep receiving from those 2 evil people. What has happened in the story? I think that's the majority of the story. I usually don't go through the story, but this story, I like it like a Hollywood story. I can, by the way, I can do it even more. I want to do maybe a commentary of the story, because the way I see it like in the day, like in our day to day, and I can like, that's what they actually did, and that's what So it's really cute to see somehow to give light to the story in different way. But to really understand that, it's not just to understand the physical story or the appearance, or we can tell it in a nice way, the story, or fun way, the story. But and then the end of the story prepare us for the following portion. Why? Because there was a success. I have to mention, there was a success to this story, not through Bil'am, but through Balak. They were able, in the end of the story, we know because the next week is portion of Pinchas. And in the end of the portion of Balak, there was this prostitute that came from the Moab, from this nation of Balak, and she was induced with evil spell and seduced the head of the tribe of Shimon and had sexual relationship with him. And when everybody were exposed to that energy, 24,000 people died from a plague that was spread, almost like a HIV or sex disease or something like that died, like COVID killed, boom, people in a second, right? That's actually what happened. And then Pinchas, and then following week, we're going to share more about it next week. But it still came from, he was able to send a messenger with evil. So he didn't destroy everyone. They did not complete the plot of what they had to completely create destruction, involved in it, but they were able to inject negativity over there. So there's a little success, okay? Let's understand this important point and what it means for us and what we can do with this. I started saying that we all have a frame of Moses as channel of prophecy, because sometimes you are prophet for somebody else. Sometimes you're saying like, not in a prophecy, I see that this, it's on the board. Sometimes in a nonchalant, not even intentional, you say something, I think you should buy that. How did you say that? Why? Wow, it was just happening. Sometimes we are channeled, but when we are in a good state of Moses, or we are channel of Bilam, a negative prophet. Now, do you have negative prophets in your life? If you pay attention all day long, that's not going to happen. I'm not sure. Nobody is for that. You want to have an idea? Nobody is propelled that idea. I'm not sure you should do that. Maybe you should do that. There's not many people, you come to them and any idea that you want to do, they push it up, right? Like a Moses. Not sure. It's been done. Let's see. they put it down sometime, in a way. So we all have those frames on a regular basis. So one is a prophet for Israel. It's called Moses, and I will explain what it means Israel. And one is to the other nations, to the rest of the people. Nobody is better. It's just a different frame of functionality. So now, how do I know that I am a channel of Bilam? Very simple. Anytime my consciousness is in a place of looking for honor, looking for some respect, looking for some extensive things or expensive things just to have. How is it? I asked this question a few times. Motarot, luxuries or no more. The word motarot is access. We all want access to everything, right? This is every time you want access, every time you want the pleasures of this world, is connected and a channel for Bilam. Because you will be seduced. You will be seduced. If it's wisdom, you're going to be seduced with how wise you are. If you're wealthy, how much money you have. You will be seduced by honor of like, oh my God, you're so important because you have so much money, and many more. Everything that you have can be seducing you for more of that. And that is what comes from that is the Kabbalah says, the Bat Ayin, one of the beautiful Kabbalists, Rabbi Tzadok, he says, comes to that person a ruach gavoa, a high spirit. What do you mean a high spirit? Ego. Because when we flattering ourselves or when we get inspired but on ourselves, we get inspired how great we are. That's ego. And what comes from that, as the Kabbalah says, ayin hara. Ayin hara. What is ayin hara? Evil eyes, bad eyes. Everything you see is bad. Even though, because what's going to be bad? If it's not me doing it, if it's not me deciding, I don't think it's going to work. But if I told you, it's going to work, right? Very important when you come from. And then the next thing for that, you become begasut. You become rude to everyone. You become rude. You become coerce. You become indifference with people. You become combative, right? That is the results of being a channel of Bilam. And with Moshe, how do I know I come from Moshe? Because I constantly know that there is nothing over there external, but only my internal work. Tikkun pnimi, inner correction. I'm not focusing on correcting my external, correcting how I look in the eyes of others, how people viewing me, how people getting it, not getting it. No. And a complete pause, complete shut down to the system of chasing after honor, chasing after the world of matter. The world of matter need to chase after you. The money, the honor have to chase after you, and you have to run away from that. And he's going to keep chasing after you no matter what. And that is a person that become ayin tova. That person have a good eye. As a result of that good eye, and that person slowly reveal truth. Truth is connected to the truth. So these are the two things that we can make this week a distinguish. What type of operation system do I want? What type of connection do I want? Now, let's go to the deeper meaning over here. It's really beautiful. Bilam saw, when he saw the greatness of Israel, what did he see? Because Balak and Bilam, both of these negative sides, what did they see? They saw the greatness, the Gdulat Israel, the greatness of the Israel. Of course, in the literal story, they saw how I share with you, they feeded nations, how these people, like one person can eliminate it. No, I don't understand. Now, that's the physical thing, but spiritually also, they had a pkichat enayim, they had like a moment of vision. Bilam had the Ruach HaKodesh for a second. The Creator showing him in pkichat enayim, open his eye to see who you're dealing with. You know what is Israel? He gave him, and right away he realized, no. Whatever I want to channel whatever the Creator told me to channel. So he gave him a second to see. But what happened? As soon as he saw it, he blessed the Israel. And he gave the blessing, that the blessing, we know, everybody, if you study for a while, you know the blessing is Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Israel. This is a blessing we're singing every Shabbat, this part of the songs, but what is the consciousness over here? The consciousness of Israel is not the people. It's not the nation who is living in Israel. It's not the Jewish people. It's a collective consciousness of humanity that we all need to achieve. You have to make sure I'm going to say it a couple of times because a lot of us referring Israel to the land or Jewish people or Israelis who living there. No, because Israel is also Arab people who live in Israel, also Israelis. So what am I talking about? So you're not talking about just Jewish people. Israel is not just for the Jewish people. It's many Christian people are Israelis. So how do you define that? And this is the important part that what Kabbalah brings to this world. The awareness of what Israel is about is that each one of us, you can be Chinese, you can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be Jewish, and have the consciousness of Israel. This is why we need to spread this wisdom. Now, let me tell you, what is the consciousness of Israel? According to Balak, of what he saw, Bilam. He is Ruach HaKodesh, he is divine inspiration, he is Holy Spirit. Share with us this message. Now, again, there's two levels to this message. Ma tovu alecha Yaakov. He says, how woe are for the tents of Yaakov, the tent where he lives, and Mishkanotecha Israel, which is, but greater is the homes of the Israel, or Mishkan, or Mishkanotecha is a home or a place you live in, the Israel. Now let me explain to you, because the depth here is beautiful. He saw that whoever achieved the level of Israel really achieve the correction in this world, achieve the ultimate force. The ultimate force is to achieve the level of Israel. What does it mean? It call it Ain Tova, good eye. You need, if you achieve the level of Israel, you need to achieve good eye. Ain Tova, good eye. Now, you know, in the literal way, we have people in our life that you come and ask them, I know you have a good eye for those things. You know, can you tell me, you have a good eye for design, or you have a good eye for clothing, and you know me, you have a good eye. What's better color for me, right? You have those people who have like a glimpse of a good eye on a specific thing, right? That's not what we're talking about here. It's a nice thing to have people around us with good eye. Or you go to a room and you have the, like, you know, you in the room, you have a good eye for everything, right? That's not what he saw in the divine. What he saw, the good eye is, the word Israel is numerical value 541. If you add the letters, you know that numerical value is another bridge. So when you add the letter Israel, you get the number 541. 541 is the same numerical value as the word or, which is light, and darkness. Now, what is the consciousness? What is Bilam? This is from the most negative guy. What did he saw? He saw that if you achieve the level of Israel, you see light in the darkness. That's Israel. This is Ain Torah. This is a good eye. This is the gift of this week. Wow. And I was, again, it's coming from the most negative people in the world. First of all, you can definitely learn from all the negative people, right? And just to get inspired of where I want to be. Because nobody asked you to be religious. Being in Israel, nobody asked you to be religious. So religion took it wrong. What is the Judaism, Islam, or any? They got it wrong. You want to make people religious people? No, I want to give them tools so they can see the light within the darkness in this world. And all the rest of the stuff that we're talking about are just tools and mechanism and how to achieve that. So just to understand, that negative guy wanted to give a curse, and these are blessings that we all want to nourish every year in this week. I want to receive good eye. I want to connect with the good eye. So first of all, what do I need to do? I never chase after access, never chase after honor, never, run after kissing someone, right? Or some respect, or some kind of like luxury that will make me feel better in the eyes or look good in the eyes of my family. No way. And you have a chance. You have a chance. The next thing about it, and this is something not many people like, but he gives another blessing. And the other blessing that he gave, by the way, he gave many blessings. I'm going to focus on two of them. And one final thought about everything. He gave another blessing. Izal mayim midalyo vezar'o b'mayim rabim. He says that water will flow from his buckets, and his essence and his lineage will have plenty of water. No. Okay, that's very nice. What is the idea here? And here the Kabbalah speaks about something that is very confusing for a lot. But it's very simple from Kabbalistic point of view. It's the idea of being lucky. Lucky. When people in this world see that somebody get married, or have children, or got business, or his business profit, or his team winning, or he end up finding a good apartment, what do they call it? You being lucky, right? Or or they call it, wait a second, probably they have a wealthy family, or they are trust fund kids, right? Or why your business is more? Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, I'm looking for a relationship for so many years, and you are so lucky. Just put yourself out there on the flip flop. What do you call it? Not flip flop. On not a TikTok, on the swiping. By the way, tell people, oh, you should be my manager, or whatever. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody, but it's like a flip flop is anyway. So the point is, what people are gonna call it? Oh, you have 10 people. Oh, you're so lucky. What? Where did it come from? It came from Balak and Bilam. If you connect to Balak and Bilam, these two evil forces, you're going to use the word you lucky. Oh, such an unlucky. Some people lucky, some people unlucky. That's how. And when we hear that out there, now you know where it's come from. Why? Why are you gonna know it's coming from them? Because they infuse people with the inability to create luck in their life. And the blessing that they gave us over here is an antidote against their forces. What the Creator, because like the venom of the snake, right? Where is it? Where is the cure for the in the venom? He doesn't go to a rabbit and give a venom to a snake, right? The Creator goes to the evil people, to the evil forces in this world, and get the vaccination through them. That's the idea. So it's been used to also share the vaccination of verse against all these consciousness that people think lucky, unlucky, I'm powerless. If I'm lucky, it's going to happen this way. If we are not lucky, it's going to happen this way. Now, that has to stop. At least for the people who study Kabbalah, at least for the people who understand this wisdom a little bit or want to be connected. You want to be religious, you want to be a spiritual person without any roots or path, no problem. You're also going to use this word. If you're lucky, you're going to get connected. If you're unlucky, you're not connected. Let's see, I'm going to go to the event. If I'm lucky, I'm going to find my soulmate. I always, when I hear that, after you study so much and you understand these things, it's important to tell people, do not use these words for your own sake. Resist your urge, and then you understand you create your own luck. You create what is being lucky. I'll tell you what is being lucky mean. Hare katuv. It's written. I always love the Israelis or Jewish people, or when I'm speaking about, let's say, the astrological sign, right? Jewish people or Israelis will come, we're not allowed to speak about it because Israel is above, Israel doesn't have luck. That's how we grew up, when I used to bring, what sign are you? And what is it? No, it's only for the other nations. Why? Because it says, Hare en it says, Hare katuv, it says, En mazal Israel. There is no lack or sign to Israel. I don't know if you know, some of you don't have the background for that. So, but it says, Ein mazal Israel. Clearly, all the commentators and if you don't study Kabbalah, you say, you're right, we're not allowed to speak about the sign. Mazal is also sign of the zodiac, right? Your sign, correct? Is Hebrew, right? So he says, how can you speak about the sign? Remember when I start studying Kabbalah and we start studying astrology, it's like, but it says, you and Mazal Israel, you're not supposed to Israel not supposed to study that. Jewish people are not supposed to have it. If you don't study Kabbalah, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. And this is the idea. First, to understand what does it mean when somebody is lucky or somebody is unlucky. There is what we call the Shekhinah HaKadosha, the female or the feminine side of the light. Okay, like all of us. You have the male side or the female side, right? It's we do it, both of us. Sometimes we are, again, I don't want to call it feminine or muscular or male, it's an energy. Sometimes you're receiving, sometimes you're giving, right? These are the two forces, male and female. Now, the female aspect is not connected to just receiving for me. When you only using your vessel to reveal light in this world, you are connected to the Shekhinah. When you go to work, where is the Shekhinah? I go to work, I get money. Yeah, if you do your work with love, passion, and happiness, you are bringing the Shekhinah in your work. If you do your work as a miserable person and like trying to run away from them, there is no Shekhinah in your work. If you fall to depression, no Shekhinah. Depressed for an hour, Shekhinah leaves for an hour. Anger, the Shekhinah leaves. All these things, cutting off your lack. Your lack. But again, I'm not angry anymore. I'm doing this. Now you can reignite. Because what is mazal? Mazal, that's what he says. That's the blessing he gave Bilam. Izal mai midalyo. Izal is the same word as the idea of mazal, which is come from the word minzal, a flaw. Flaw. When a person connected to the flaw, that's what it means he's lucky. When you're happy, you're connected to the flow. When you love what you're doing, you're connected to the flow. But let's understand what does it mean, en mazal leIsrael. This is the first time I saw that depth, so I like to share it. Ein is nothing. Ein is nothing. That this is the lack of Israel. The code is Ein mazal leIsrael. Ein, it's the actual mazal of Israel. It's the actual lack of Israel. What does it mean, Ein? When you remove yourself from the equation. When you totally humble yourself. So humility is the first indication of a real lucky person. What does it mean? Now he can reduce himself. He can connect to the flow. That's what Moshe. Every time there was a problem, he reduced himself. But also here there's a code. Ein is coming from the word Ein Sof, the endless world. So I have to bring myself to the moment, because if you switch the letter Ein, you get the word Ani. Me. Me. When there's me, there is no lack. When there's Ein, nothing, when you are not there, when you're not putting yourself, when you're not inserting yourself, or how do I feel, and what do I get, and what do I get? If you have that, there's no mazal, there's no flow, there's no. But when you don't have that, what is the sentence says? Shezar'o b'mayim rabim, and your lineage will be connected to an amazing flow of water, represent blessings in this world. So remember, if you connected through these two evil guys, to your lack, being lucky, or lack, to your lack is the right way to say it. To your lack, your flow, your endless flow that's waiting to be flow from you. No mezikim, no mekadregim. There are no negativity that trying to insert himself into you. They cannot. It's like, imagine a huge river. They're trying to get in. You're trying to get into that river in this flow, like huge flow. You can't even insert a finger. Like as soon as you're, it's flow. It get flashed out right away. That's the force that we want to connect to. So this is the third idea. I want to finalize again. I know it's we are right around that time, and the concept here that we want to remove is the idea of Balak and Bilam. The main source of them is lack. They coming from lack. They see what's wrong. Let's find a solution for that. They see how bad it is. Let's use that for our advantage. Only from lack. And remember, lack is not a problem. Lack that people have in life, it's a direction where the light wants to be revealed. A lot of us experience lack and we hide. We run away from that. We're insecure when we discover our lack, or when we feel lack. What do I do? Let me come up with a story, or I'm in a group of people and I can't. It feels like I don't know what to add. Let me throw nonsense. Operation from lack will always gives you lack. Very important. This is the final understanding here, because when people have lack, they start speaking bad about it. They start blaming people. Lack is not the cause, but the solution. It's a direction. It tells you, here there is a darkness. Your power is to transform yourself to Israel and ignite that darkness, ignite that light. So thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we can share it, listening to the recording again, and thank you again.